currently tracking a couple more of those tornado warnings that are currently, or they just were put out there. We will keep updated. I'll zoom in a little bit. We have one right now that is currently around Jetson and also moving towards Sunfish and Brownsville. So if you're in any of those areas, make sure to get to your safe space immediately. We have David here also that can help out with this coverage. So I'll go over to him in just a minute. We'll also look at this one as well. We've got another tornado warning right now that is just east of Magnolia, southeast of Magnolia, and also a little bit northeast of Pikeview, going towards Lloyd right now. So again, if you are in any of these areas, make sure to go to your safe space right now, because we are under that tornado warning in those areas right now. We'll zoom out so you can see where we are seeing these right now again. We have two again right now in effect. Again, Jetson and into Round Hill, and we are seeing closer to going towards Sweden as well. Jetson again, where you're seeing that thunderstorm or that thunderstorm that could be rotating right now. And let's see what the velocity looks like. Looks like there could be some. Oh, excuse me. Looks like there could be some rotation there now, and so. Right now, again, if you are under one of these tornadoes, make sure to get to your safe space. Make sure to go down to the lowest level of your of where you're at, and make sure to put plenty of walls in between you and outside right now. So, again, if you're under any of these tornado warnings, just make sure to get to your safe space. We'll zoom back into this one. This is going towards, again, Lloyd. It's currently to the west of Lloyd right now. So if you're west of that, you could be seeing this thunderstorm that has the potential for creating or spinning up a tornado. So again, make sure that you are in your safe spaces if you are in this region right now. And I can go ahead and do you want to go on the wall?
Yeah, let me have a little wall here. We are monitoring these two tornado warnings. It's a lot of storms. It took its time, but now it's starting to produce what we thought was possible during the late night here, and we are watching this tornado warning that is in effect for northern Greene County, also for northwestern Taylor County here. And you can see the polygon. It extends pretty far to the east because these storms are racing. And now, Audrey, if you can flip on the velocity product here, because obviously these storms are very messy, you can't really get a good indication of where the exact rotation will going to get kind of around the Wards community. Again, this is in northern Greene County, and this storm is just booking it off towards the east with the severe thunderstorm overlapping the tornado warning. The tornado warning kind of blends in with the reds on the velocity map here, but the town of Mac and also out there towards Saloma, that's where we do have the warning, as this storm is likely racing on the order of about 55 miles per hour towards the east. So this is a one storm. This is kind of on the fringe of our viewing area. Let's go to the other storm that is affecting more of our folks who are watching us as we speak. We've got some of the rotation, could be around the Round Hill community. So this is north central Edmonson County. And again, we're looking at velocity. This is the wind product on radar. It gives you an idea where we have some rotation here. And again, that could be around the Round Hill community. Jetson, you're just off to the west. And if we turn back on radar, if you can flip radar back on, Audrey, you'll just see how messy it is. These storms are difficult to track at times just because they do look so terrible on radar. But when you get into the velocity, when you get into the actual wind product, that's where you can see the actual rotation. So that's what we're looking at here. Our other community around Hill, if you're in Sunfish, please be in your safe zone. Ridgedale, Broadway, and in Brownsville, you want to shelter. Get the polygon back on too. Want to make sure that we got everyone covered here. Jetson, you're kind of on the edge of the storm. Brownsville is included in this warning. Also, Reedyville. We are at 5:17. We are in AM Kentucky Live, but we do have a tornado warning in effect.
The ones that's watching this video, I recorded this off my antenna. But the channel WNKY40 and the other stations that I'm going to be uploading later on, I recorded those off my Roku. But this TV station, I recorded it over the air off my antenna.
With these storms, not only tornadoes, but also damaging winds in excess of maybe 50 at 60 miles per hour, and also the possibility of
and WBKO 40 severe weather coverage has already been uploaded to TikTok and YouTube. And I recorded that off my Roku. I recorded this TV station off my antenna. I could have done it on my Roku, but I chose to do something different. Recorded it off regular TV on the antenna over the air.
This tornado warning that is again in effect. If you're joining us right now, I'm in because we've been tracking severe weather all throughout the course of the night. It's come in multiple rounds. We have a warning in effect for Edmonson County. Ridgedale, Brownsville included in this warning. Be in your safe zone. What's your safe zone? It's a basement, if you have one. If you don't, lowest level of your house. Many walls between you and the outside as possible. Don't want to see shelter near an outside wall, and certainly don't want to be near a window. A laundry room's a place to be, or a closet, or perhaps a bathroom. Bathrooms are anchored down with all the piping, so that makes it actually a very safe place to be in the event of a tornado. We haven't had any confirmed reports of tornadoes, but certainly there is the potential there. And so we have this tornado warning that is in effect for its northern parts of Edmonson County. In much of Edmonson County under this warning. Can you zoom out a little bit? I want to see some of the county lines a little bit more. And that is also for far eastern Butler County. So much of Edmonson County under this warning for the next 25 minutes. And we've got the tornado watch. The tornado watch is for the county shaded in the yellow, and that was just issued. And we're also watching another tornado. We can shift back to that one in northern Greene County over there towards Taylor County. This is kind of on the fringe of our typical viewing area, but still pointing this storm out. This is northern Greene County and also Taylor County, just outside of Campbellsville. That's where we have the tornado warning in effect. Messy looking storms. They do not look like your typical tornadic storms, but a lot of times, especially this time of year, I mean, these storms can be very messy, and you have to look at the wind product, the velocity product, to give you an idea. But these storms are actually being scanned pretty high on radar, so we're not getting a good low-level scan. We're looking at the storm higher up, but certainly if you have enough twisting even higher up in a storm, that can translate down to the surface. So if you're in Saloma, out there in Saloma, I should say, in Taylor County, we do have the tornado warning in effect. Let's go to the Edmonson County storm, because obviously we're on air, so we've got viewers really watching for this storm as we speak. I don't know, is there a way we can possibly get our feed? Can we get our on-air feed to go out over Facebook Live? If that's possible, if we can do that, that would be fantastic. But we have this tornado warning that is in effect for Edmonson County, and that does include the town of Brownsville, also out there towards Mammoth Cave. Pig included in this warning. And so you can see that it's just a huge mess on radar for northern Edmonson County. And in this mess, that's where we potentially have a tornado. It's very hard to get a visual on a tornado at night. Of course, we're getting into the pre-dawn hours of your Thursday. You can't really ever get a visual on a tornado at night, especially one that is just covered in rain. And that's what we have here. This tornado is potentially out here around sunfish, at least in the northern part of Edmonson County. If we can get back on the velocity product, Audrey, I want to show people what we're looking at. Can we put this in motion for like the last hour? Because again, it's really difficult to just get any sort of a beat on it. Yeah, just again, not seeing much in terms of the greens showing up, which would indicate more of that rotation. And I think it's likely somewhere kind of in this area, but regardless of exactly where it is, if you're in this warning box, if you're in this warning polygon, that red polygon, you need to be in your safe zone right now. And again, area between Sunfish and Brownsville, that's where we have some of the stronger rotation as the storm continues to rapidly move off to the east and the southeast. So this storm is moving very quickly, but obviously when these storms move fast, that means that the storm can pick up some more rotation, and that's the reason why we do have the tornado warning in effect. Again, that goes all the way out there towards Mammoth Cave National Park, Brownsville, Ollie, Pig included, Reedyville in this warning, even though the rotation may not be right on your doorstep, still be in your safe zone. Obviously, we're going to continue to monitor this storm as it get closer to Warren County, Hart County, and that could certainly be occurring over the next 20 minutes or so. Audrey, do you know if we are up on Facebook? I mean, I know from our spot we can control Facebook, but I don't know if we can control the mics. I'm looking to maybe be able to get back on Facebook. So, Josh, is there a way, do you know? No way to get on. Okay, all right. So still working to get on Facebook as we speak, but we are live on air right now. We are in AM Kentucky Live. We've had some technology issues we're trying to work our way through, but we've got you covered with this storm that we're watching in Edmonson County. It includes Brownsville as well as Ollie and a Mammoth Cave National Park community of Pig. It's likely that we have a rotation right here passing by Sunfish, so heading down towards Brownsville and also into Ollie, Mammoth Cave National Park. We're also live on our news stream as well, so hopefully folks are able to watch us there. We're again working through some audio issues, but this warning will continue for the next 20 minutes until 5:45. We've also got this large polygon, this orange polygon here that really covers a good part of the map, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect because of the potential for winds up to 50, 60 miles per hour, and that can obviously knock out power and take down trees. So get those devices, keep them on charge. Hopefully your devices were on a good amount of charge on the overnight. You were able to get those warnings. If you weren't waken up by the thunder and lightning itself outside, obviously now we are monitoring this storms as they continue to really book their way through the area. They're really starting to move across a good portion of our viewing area. And so that storm, if we stop this loop here, Audrey, and turn back to reflectivity, let's show everyone kind of what we're looking at. Again, over there in Edmonson County, likely between a Straw and Sunfish, that's where we do have some of the stronger rotation in there. Until 5:45, we have this tornado warning in effect. We've also got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:45, so we've got warnings overlapping warnings. But this is the main storm we're watching. We've been talking about the ingredients being in place. We've had the wind shear. We just needed the storms to start to flare, and now they certainly have. And we've got a broken line of storms that we are dealing with, but this is the most severe of them all. This is again, central northern Edmonson County, Brownsville, about to experience some pretty strong winds on the edge of this storm as it moves to the southeast. Mammoth Cave National Park also in this tornado warning until 5:45. And if this does expire, obviously we can send it back to our newscast, but we're going for the next 17 minutes as the news is the weather right now. We are watching this storm. Unfortunately, we don't have any sky cams out there in Edmonson County, so we don't have any good visuals on this storm other than what we're looking at with a radar here. And with the deep red and even some of the pink starting to show up, we could certainly have some hail in there just outside of the community of Straw. We've had some hail reports in northern parts of the state. As a matter of fact, there was a report of hail on the order of 1.5 inches in northern Kentucky. Now, we haven't had any true severe weather reports come out of at least the overnight storms just yet here in south central Kentucky, but that could certainly change as we again are dealing with a tornado warning for this is central Edmonson County, and the storm doesn't look very impressive at all, but there is rotation in there, and we've got multiple storms that are rotating. It's not just this storm. We're also watching that one up there in the Taylor County, but we're going to focus more on this storm because we know that viewers are watching over here. Those who are watching on the stream, obviously, they could be watching out there from Taylor County. So we will get back to that storm. We'll talk a little bit more about that. That's also impacting parts of Green County. But if you're just joining us right now, where I am, Kentucky Live, we are watching a tornado warned storm that is in the central Edmonton County over there near Brownsville. Be your safe zone right now. We potentially have a tornado nearby. We've certainly got some decent rotation showing up on radar. This warning continues for the next 15 minutes. That storm continues to race off to the east, southeast, roughly 50, 55 miles per hour. With these fast-moving storms, you don't have a whole lot of time to seek shelter once the warning goes out. Thankfully, these warning polygons have been pretty long, but once they're issued, I mean, these storms are booking really fast. So you got to get to your safe zone as quickly as possible. Audrey, let's zoom out the map just a little bit, and we can put a loop on here. So again, we're watching these two tornado warnings. We put like an hour loop on this. Let's just see how they're looking at it. I know folks are wondering, what's going on elsewhere. It looks like, yeah, the rotation, yeah, is actually starting to look a little bit more. It could be picking up just a bit more. I mean, this could be a notch showing up on Doppler radar here. But obviously, these storms this is north of Bowling Green. This is Edmonson County. Out there into Hart County, at least have a severe thunderstorm warning. But then we also have that other tornado warning that is in effect for northern Greene and northwestern Taylor County. So one tornado warning, two tornado warnings, and a severe thunderstorm warning right in between north of Munfordville and in through central parts of Greene County, because we could be dealing with those winds gusting up to about 60 miles per hour. So the tornado warning in Edmonson County, again, continues for the next 14 minutes. Go back down to that storm, Audrey. Let's flip back on the velocity. I want to make sure I'm looking at this correctly so I can give everyone the best estimate of what we are looking at. So, again, we're not getting a really good scan on a velocity. Okay, yeah, so we're using the Fort Campbell radar, and if we use the Louisville one, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. Brownsville's kind of right in the middle, so we're getting a high scan on this storm. Unfortunately, you want the lowest scan possible, so when these storms are closer to radars, you can always get a better indication of the rotation here, but certainly the way it's starting to look on reflectivity gives you an idea that it's becoming a little bit more independent, which means it can utilize some of the rotation and some of the energy in the atmosphere a bit more. So 2 tornado warnings do remain in effect. Let's go back to radar. Let's flip the script and go back to radar once again. And you can see again, this storm doesn't look the most impressive, but it's starting to take on almost like that kidney bean look that sometimes we see when we have rotating storms. And that rotation shifting down there into Brownsville, and we also have the tornado warning. That is until 6:45. That's Eastern time. They're out in the Eastern time, so that's still for the next 12 minutes here. These are really the two more significant storms. This is Edmonson County. This is Hart County, Northern Greene, and Taylor County. So it really seems like between Edmonson County, Hart County, and Greene County, that's where we're going to have some of the more significant weather. But we'll have to keep an eye on how these storms continue to evolve over the next hour or so, because they could certainly start to shift a little bit more to the southeast. And so that means the threats would continue to shift further southeast. But in addition to the possibility of a tornado with this storm that is starting to push into Brownsville, we do have the potential for winds in general, non-tornadic winds, to be up to 60 miles per hour, and also some large hail. We're dealing with the same threats in northern Greene County and Taylor County. But zooming back into the storm, Audrey, in northern Edmonson County, again, you can see we've got Ollie in here, probably seeing some hail nearby. But yeah, this look right here, starting to get an indication maybe we got some extra rotation in there with that little notch around Brownsville. If you're in Brownsville, again, please be in your safe zone. If you live around Mammoth Cave National Park, best to just stay put. Obviously, we're starting to get into the real early morning hours. Folks are getting ready for the day, but you don't want to venture out. And if you are maybe traveling north on a 65, you can see that we've got some very heavy rainfall, and we certainly have the possibility that maybe a tornado warning gets extended. If it would be extended, it would likely be extended out towards the I-65 corridor. But for now, this warning will just continue for the next 10 minutes. Again, if you're in Brownsville, if you're in the community of Pig, Mammoth Cave National Park, if you're anywhere around Mammoth Cave, Edmonson County, you want to seek shelter as this storm continues to race off to the east, a little east of southeast. So again, we'll keep an eye on some locations further to the south, like into Metcalfe County and also into parts of Barron County. You can see that the tornado warning has now been extended. So Audrey, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the information that we are now getting in from the Weather Service on this new tornado warning that is now in effect until 6 o'clock.
Yeah, let me just pull that up right now. Let's see. This one is for the one in southern Hart County, and that is going to be until 6 a.m. Central Time, and at 5:35 a.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Brownsville, moving east at 45 miles an hour. We could potentially see a tornado associated with this. Make sure to get into your safe location right now. We'll see this storm near Munfordville around 5:50 a.m. Again, make sure to take cover right now. You could potentially be seeing some hail as well in this system. And then for the one in, let's see, in the one in northwestern Greene and northwestern Taylor counties, they'll expire at 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, 5:45 a.m. Central Time. The storm, it was prompted, the warning moved out of the area, therefore the warning will be allowed to expire right now. Tornado watch remains in effect until 11 a.m.
All right, so if you zoom the map out here a little bit, again, we're bringing you up to speed on on everything that's going on as we speak, and we've had a few tornado warnings now within just the last hour, and the latest warning now puts a Munfordville in the warning. And Audrey, if you possibly pull up the Munfordville cam, you can try to do that while you leave the screen here. Try to pull up the Munfordville cam, that way we can get maybe a visual on this storm as it continues to move on in from the west. But yeah, the storm has that notch feature right there. That's near Brownsville, and that's where we possibly have some of the strongest rotation in this storm. So it's starting to shift more from Edmonson County into Hart County. So if you are in Munfordville, get into your safe zone right now. Lowest level of your house, a basement if you've got it. Storm shelter, of course, that's the best if you have access to that. But get into an interior location, a closet, a laundry room, or a bathroom. That's going to be your best bet. Bring in the blankets, the pillows, stuffed animals for the kids, whatever you need to help ease your mind through this. We just want to make sure you're in the most safe location you can be during this tornado, or during this tornado warning at least. Haven't had a confirmed report of a tornado, but we just want to treat it as if there's a tornado on the ground. So here's a look in Munfordville, and you can't really see a whole lot. We'll probably see some flashes of lightning here soon, but you can obviously see the flag flapping in the foreground. So this is Hart County. Tornado warning now in effect for Munfordville and really a good portion of Hart County, and that will continue until 6:30. Is it 6 o'clock, Audrey? Is it 6
Yeah, I think this one.
6 o'clock. Okay, so for the next 20 minutes. Again, these storms are racing. They are moving very, very quickly, and so you don't have a whole lot of time to get into your safe zone. So Munfordville, we're going to keep an eye on this camera. Let's go back to radar and get another look at these storms. If you are just joining us, we know we get different audiences almost like every minute during the morning. This is what we're watching right now. We do have some significant weather pushing through the area. For Warren County, just some storms off to the west. That is nothing too severe. These certainly are much, much weaker, just producing some heavy rain. It's these storms to the north of Bowling Green that are the ones that we're watching. Obviously, we've got the tornado warning that is in effect. Still remains in effect for Edmonson County, but it's probably going to get trimmed back even more as the storm continues to move towards the east. So let's zoom back into these storms here in Edmonson County. You can see that Brownsville storm beginning to pass by, but we certainly have that rotation between Ollie and Mammoth Cave National Park. Horse Cave included in this warning, and there's the 65 corridor. So if you live around Munfordville, around Horse Cave, you need to be in your safe zone right now. And this storm also is likely producing some large hail and also some damaging winds. Not just the potential with tornadic winds, but with winds in general. This is a very strong storm that we continue to watch. So Brownsville, just give it a few more minutes and the storm will just be outside of your town. But if you're in Mammoth Cave, if you're around Mammoth Cave National Park, if you're out there in Horse Cave, we've got the warning in effect. Horse Cave to Munfordville, tornado warning in effect, and even the community of Rio under this warning. So that includes really much of Hart County and far eastern Edmonson County. We do have this tornado warning that is in effect until 6 o'clock. So that is for the next 18 minutes. Audrey, there's been no confirmed reports of a tornado, anything like that.
I'm unsure.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pop back onto my computer over here. Actually, it's logged out on me right now, so I'm not going to worry about that. But far as is what we've heard and what we're seeing in these warnings that we're getting from the National Weather Service. It sounds like we're just dealing with a radar indicated tornado, but of course as the warnings continue to extend, it's likely that we continue with strong enough rotation in these storms to keep these warnings going. That's the reason why the National Weather Service keeps the tornado warnings going and not just severe thunderstorm warnings. There's obviously enough rotation in these storms to where they continue to pose a tornado threat as they move off to the east. So we're monitoring this storm right here. This is where we've got some more of the significant rotation. It is getting into far eastern parts of Edmonson County and is about to push into Hart County. And across Hart County, you can see that you're initially getting the very heavy rainfall, and then the storm that could be producing the tornado follows. And so initially with some very heavy rain, that makes visibility next to nothing. So don't even think to try to go outside and look to see where this possible tornado could be. We are coming up at 5:43, so I know a lot of folks are waking up, and of course folks I know who are in the tornado warning area, they're already awake, and we are now seeing the threat start to shift more into Hart County, but between Ollie and Mammoth Cave, that's where we will still have some torrential rainfall and certainly have some of that rotation with this storm. And if we can go back to the velocity product, let's see how the rotation is looking, although I haven't been able to see anything overly impressive, although we do likely have some of that rotation right there. So that's starting to push into Hart County. So if you're in Munfordville, please be in your storm shelter right now, because this is the area that we're watching that is certainly heading your way. But even if you are in Horse Cave, sometimes these areas of rotation can wobble a bit. It can be a little bit, more north or south, but the general direction this is heading is over there towards Munfordville, and we are actually, that's as of 5:30. It's saying 5:30. We're at 5:45 now. So, but this is showing a current look at the storm. So our timestamp here is off for some reason by about 15 minutes. But this storm right here is pushing into Hart County and is moving over towards Munfordville. So be in your safe zone in Munfordville. But even over there into Bonnieville, we're certainly dealing with maybe some of the stronger wind gusts and also the potential